Good evening, folks. Well, okay, afternoon. All right, afternoon. It's 10 minutes of 5 here in the old Boston area. But this is your shut the fuck up, regardless of what time it is, wherever you might be. So we're going to start with a familiar character, often a hot topic here in the Mermaid Lounge. Lauren Boebert. Is it Boebert? Is it Boebert? I really don't care. Either way, she's just one of the most annoyingly reprehensible people on the planet. And now, as you all know, she's up for re-election against Adam Frisch, the Democrat, who only lost by 500 votes the last go around in 2022. And by the way, he didn't have to lose. Okay. He didn't have to lose, but that's not this conversation. But now it appears that Miss Boebert has overstayed her welcome in the 3rd district, and she is now shuffling off to the 4th district in a desperate attempt to remain relevant to the American people. She is out there now whining that the reason she had to leave the 3rd district was because of Ryan. Is it Ryan Seacrest? Let me check that. I like my facts to be right. Hang on here. Oh, sorry, Ryan Reynolds and Barbra Streisand. It's all their fault that she has to leave her district because they are donating to Adam Frisch. Look, first of all, I'd like to make one thing abundantly clear. Lauren Boebert wouldn't have one iota of trouble or one pretty little hair on her freaking head bothered had Barbra Streisand and Ryan Reynolds donated to her campaign. Because in fact, donating outside your district is not illegal. I have donated to Adam Frisch. I have donated to the people. There's two candidates actually running against Ted Cruz. You can do this because guess what? Here's the deal. The bottom line is this. You know what? Lauren Boebert votes nationally on bills. She votes nationally on abortion. She votes nationally on healthcare. She votes nationally on gun bills. So what Lauren Boebert does affects the entire fucking nation. Okay? She may only be elected by the people in Colorado, but none of these legislators are operating in a vacuum in their own state only. These are federal legislators, and as such, they have an effect on everyone's lives, all right? When Tommy Tuberville blocked all those freaking nominations for the military, he affected everybody. He affected every sector of the military across all boundaries and across all states. End of story. Let's stop the nonsense here. There's nothing illegal about what they're doing. This is a free country. Remember that whole freedom thing you guys were in, the Freedom Caucus? Remember that? Shut the fuck up, Lauren, and stop whining. You're leaving because you're losing. It's as simple as that. Number 2 today. Another shooting in Iowa today. A 17-year-old opened fire at school with a pump-action shotgun and a smaller caliber handgun, killing one 6th grader and wounding 5 other students or 5 other people in the school. He has died from a gunshot wound. His own self-inflicted wound, by the way. But yet here we are. Let me read you some of this nonsense. Okay? Let's read some of this nonsense here. Kim Reynolds, Governor Kim Reynolds. You know, they're all very, very, very sorry. Very sorry. And they are just heartbroken. Okay? Chuck Grassley has weighed in. He is heartbroken. He is praying for everyone. Joni Ernst, she's all upset too. She's all upset about the shooting in Perry, Iowa. She's a senator from Iowa. She's got thoughts and prayers for everyone. And she's thanking the police profusely for showing up and, saving lives. You know what would save lives? Right? You know what would save lives? Thoughts and prayers don't do jack shit. Okay? They don't. Because usually you give those after people are dead on the ground. Okay? Thoughts and prayers only count if they go to heaven, if there is a heaven, and if there is a God. Okay? None of this is known yet. All right? When you are believing and you are giving thoughts and prayers to people, you are operating on blind faith. Okay? But that's besides the point. None of the Republicans, not one of them, would ever step up and talk about what really needs to be done. No, this guy didn't use an AR-15, but you know what? He's 17 fucking years old with a pump-action shotgun and a handgun. Okay? No one is trying to take anyone's guns away. I'm going to say this again. So all of you out there talking about the Second Amendment and all that shit, shut the fuck up. No one's trying to take your guns away. But guess what? We have cars in America. You have to have a license. You have to prove that you can fucking drive it. You are also punished if you misuse it, okay? And it is registered in your name in the state in which you live. And you are responsible for that, okay? And there is no fucking reason on God's green earth why guns should not be the same. This isn't 1776. Every gun should be registered to a human being, a person, and that gun should be traceable in case it is used in a crime. And you should have to take a safety class, and you should have to learn how to store guns properly in your home, because how did this 17-year-old get a gun? And you should have to answer to somebody before you get a gun. In Massachusetts, we have to meet with our local police department before we can get it. And guess what? Saying that I'm entitled to it under the Second Amendment isn't good enough to get a gun here. We don't have assault weapons in Massachusetts. You can't get one here unless you somehow bring one in. But we also don't have school shootings here, thankfully. That's the one thing I never worried about in my state with my kids when they were in school. I had other things to worry about. That wasn't one of them. But people who are telling you now that this is not a solution, to ban assault weapons is another thing. No one needs an assault weapons, although Governor Reynolds of Iowa signed a bill in 2022 making it okay for hunters to use AR-15s to kill deer. And what's to say that that's what they're actually going to use them for, since AR-15 is the weapon of choice for mass shootings in America? This is the only fucking nation on the planet that has this problem, and it's because the GOP will not take action. Let's not freaking bandy this about anymore. When there was an assault weapons ban, by the way, which was instituted by old man Bush and was allowed to expire by his son, it was safer here. Will criminals always get guns? Yeah, they will. But you know what? Using that as an excuse to do absolutely fucking nothing about the fact that we have mass shootings. We had more mass shootings in 2023 than we had days. Let's not make any bones about this bullshit anymore, because that's all this is. We could really cut down on the mass shootings if we could get AKs and ARs, semi-automatic and automatic weapons. No one should own them. You want guns? No one's taking your guns away, but nobody needs those weapons. Those are people-killing guns. You know, when you used to shoot animals, when you used to hunt, you used to have a skill. You know, you had to aim it, you had to be able to hit, you had to be able to shoot. Now you can just bring an AR-15 and just spray the motherfuckers. You can just shred them. Because I can bet you that while a human body may look a little bit different than a deer, it ain't the same as shooting a deer with a hunting rifle. Let's get a clue, folks. The reason we have a problem in America is the GOP refuses to do anything about it. They refuse to come to the table. They refuse to do any of it. So anytime they want to give you thoughts and prayers, you tell them to shut the fuck up. And I will talk to you all later.